How's it going, gamers? We are back. It's been a while, but back to get into some Explorer content here mostly. Standard still seems like a bit of a train wreck to me personally, not really interested in that format with Attracts and Shieldred still legal, but Explorer's been pretty exciting. We're back with Rogues here. Was excited for this when Explorer as a format first started. Never really caught on, but has been a bit more popular lately, mostly due to Fairy Mastermind coming in the last set. So 2 mana, 2/1 flash flying, Fairy Rogue, very much fits with the Rogue themes. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and for 4 mana, it can make each player draw a card. You do this on your opponent's turn, then that's their second card for the turn, so you would draw 2, which is pretty helpful, and sometimes you can just cheat some extra cards out of your opponents by flashing this in response to whatever they're doing to draw cards, or just they want to play their game plan anyway. Their Kiora draws cards in mono green or what have you. This is a pretty decent little threat slash value engine. The rest of the Rogues package we've mostly seen before. Halo Forager here is also new. Enters the battlefield, you can pay X to basically flash back an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. Here we just have Thoughtseize and removal spells, but it's a 3/1 flyer, rogue, and an uncommon, so if you have trouble crafting some of the rares and mythics here, that is an option that can make this a bit more budget friendly, and I think is a cool card to try out here. If you don't like this card, just go up on the numbers of any of these three, and you'll be just fine. Explain the Rogue's archetype a bit more basically. We play a bunch of flash creatures, try and put cards in our opponent's graveyard, and when opponents have a certain number of cards in their graveyard, that turns on our cards, like Thieves Guild Enforcer becomes a 3/2 with Death Touch instead of a 1/1. Soaring Thought Thief becomes a Lord, essentially, gives all your Rogues +1/+0 when they have 8 or more cards in graveyard. And Drown in the Lock, when this card is turned on, it is one of the best cards in Magic as a whole, being 2 mana counterspell / terminate at the same time. Counter any spell, destroy any creature, as long as the mana value is less than the cards in that controller's graveyard. So very effective and efficient. We also have Kaido, who was not around when Explorer first started off, and has been a pretty efficient card advantage engine here. I'm playing Kaido over the into the story. A lot of the times I feel I don't really get to 4 lands, so I want to have some card advantage before we get there. Kaido does things before you fill the graveyard, right? You just play your 2-drop, you play Kaido, you're immediately drawing cards. It's reasonably easy to defend Kaido with the whole phase out thing, and then you have your removal spells if your opponent tries to attack him. And let's see, these Brazen Borrowers, Nighthawk Scavengers, have not been terribly popular in previous iterations, but I've been a big fan. Some people play Shieldred for life gain. I prefer Nighthawk Scavenger, both because it is a more fun and interesting card, and because of the whole 3 lands thing, and it's good to play things on theme. I just think Magic is more fun that way. And this can be just as effective of a threat as Shieldred, just a tiny bit easier to kill if your opponent has 3 damage spells, if they are in red, but that's the main difference. Nighthawk Scavenger can get in for damage if your opponent is going up the ground, like Mono Green and the Convoke decks and various other things like to do, so I think this card's pretty cool. Brazen Borrower can interact with permanents that you otherwise may not be able to by bouncing them, and just pretty decent flash threat if you're playing a flash deck. Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Go for the Throat, shouldn't really need introduction. They're standard black interactive spells. I like to play Raven Feeblement instead of the 4th Fatal Push here. A lot of the creatures that you really need to kill are either white or have 1 toughness. So 1 toughness hits a lot of the Convoke decks, it hits Llanowar Elves, and the white cards hits all of the Angel decks, it hits Greasefang, and Humans was around for a while, haven't seen that too much lately, but pretty good there too. So, like a couple of these, Go for the Throat hits the things that are bigger than Fatal Push can hit. 24 lands, bit of utility here, and yeah, let's go try it out. Seems okay. think I'm thought seizing on turn 2. They might take my thought seize here. Yep. I think we can chalk this in. There's a good enough chance we'll only cast one of these spells. Hopefully draw the third land for Kaido next turn. No, we're not playing into it. Sure. Do draw the land. That's nice. Go for it. Songs. Cool. Draw a card.
There are many secrets I don't know. Now this is a juicy secret.
No real clue what our opponent could be on. Fight rigging. That was a good one. Brazen Borrower, pretty effective against fight rigging itself. Go for the throat, pretty effective against whatever they want to put fight rigging onto. Down to 13 already. Not big rush to quicken the clock. Find our land. Nice. Just pass. Archfiend, sure. That dies to go for the throat. Let's see. Playing the Thought Thief here means we do 2 more damage, so I'm gonna go for that. Alright, mills 2 here, then another 2 on the attack. Which then to 8. Another 3 damage, sorry. And we still have interaction up. Feels pretty safe. Another Archfiend. Do it again. And we got him. Yeah, definitely worth having the Doom Blades here. Fatal Push doesn't quite cut it a lot of the time. Of course, Drown helps in these scenarios too. Don't love not having a turn 1 play on the draw, but I think we can keep this. I need to do for 2 mana. Overloft Pathway, Lunar Veteran, some sort of Angel's variant. Most Gyata, sure, gain 1. Blue landed pass. Landing 2, go for the throat something here. There's an argument for using Go for the Throat on our turn in case they don't have a third land to cast their angels. It's to get rid of Gyata. Let's see. I think we still kill Gyata here. They might tap it and play another Youthful Valkyrie. Or a second Gyata, but just giving the extra power to this is not ideal for us. Do not tap it in response. Maybe they don't know they can, maybe they don't have a reason to. Darkslick Shores. I think we are passing here. They attack with their Lunar Veteran again, we can eat it with our Thought Thief. Splendid Angel is just fine as long as they're not gaining life. Okay, they attack the Veteran, good for us. Just want to put more cards in that graveyard. Glad to see a Thought Seize. Guess they have a Restoration or something. No, they've got 2 lands in hand. Not ideal for us. But should mean that they're not doing anything exciting with their Resplendent Angel anytime soon. The attack with the Thought Thief here is bad, so I guess we just play the Scavenger. Next turn we can play two 2-mana spells. I think I'm happy to trade the Scavenger for Resplendent Angel if they offer that. It's a lot of damage, if not. Still only 2 cards in the graveyard is a bit unfortunate. So this does go back to their hand if we return it to hand, which is a bit awkward. Guess if they try and activate their Resplendent Angel, we can bounce that and drown the Valkyrie. It's not terrible. Are a bit on the back foot here. Shock they land in probably means they're activating their Resplendent Angel. No blocks, let them spend their mana on it. Once that, gain 1 off Luminous Phantom because that's how that works for some reason. Kill you. Now we can get Kaido down and be reasonably ahead. Don't mind a Fatal Push. Do I want to shock in the Water Grave to flash in bar? Probably. They just play Resplendent Angel. It'd be pretty suspicious to not leave that avenue open. Okay. Bishop, I think we have to Fatal Push. Drew another company, very unfortunate. Okay, it could be worse than Gyata Innkeeper. To drown now. Need to put 1 more card in their graveyard. Okay, guess we're attacking here.
Now this is a juicy secret.
This Phantom is fine. Probably drown the Resplendent Angel if they go for that. Attack with the Innkeeper, which is fun. So you can block that with the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, which I think I'm going to do. Big Ganjo. That's fine.
almost stopped me that time.
After this, Thought Thief can now comfortably block all of their creatures. Halo Forager seems pretty good here. Can Fatal Push their Giada. If I attack here, Kaido goes up to 3. I guess we can trade the Halo Forager. It's not terrible. Yeah. Drawing cards is good. Let's draw more cards. That was a good card to draw.
What do we have here?
Action, pay 1. Might be turning this one around. That beats our creatures in combat, as well as generally being a good card. I think we just counter that. And they concede. Lovely. Could definitely rip a Coco off the next draw and still beat us there, but we'll take those. Yeah, that seems okay. Good mana, couple threats, some interaction. Okay, looks like could be Convoke, but they usually have Gigantha. Just use our Ray here. Might not be playing white cards. Just get that out of the way. Yeah, Rakdos maybe playing Anvil and things. So play the Thought Thief over the Mastermind here. Going to push the Harvester before it messes with us. Maybe they'll activate a Blood or something. We can flash in the Mastermind and really get them. Claim, sure. Much rather see that used on a Thought Thief than the Scavenger or something later. They not even wait to hit me for the 1 damage? Oh, alright. Works for me. Oh, I'm so excited about that. I forgot to put my Mastermind in and draw our card. Glass houses and all that. Oops. So that might cost us. They're pretty well ahead on cards now, which does not have to be the case. This card definitely takes some getting used to. Just going to push it. Spike Field Hazard. Alright. It's not a card you see too often. Okay. Why are you holding priority? Thank you. Right, maybe they're out of answers. Maybe we lose. Okay, that's not an answer. That's not an answer. We are set up to race here pretty well. We also, of course, have no way of interacting with the anvil once it's on board, so... If they find an answer to the scavenger, we are pretty done for here. Put an artifact in the graveyard, that's nice of them. Third anvil. It's making this race harder. I think I'm just supposed to use the ray on this Epicure here. It's just something that doesn't deal me 1 damage. Right, not something they can sack to the anvil. Drown, probably not helpful. Maybe if they power up a creature land. But 10 to 25. I guess stops their next big thing. The math here is probably too complicated for me to do in my head. Take 5 here. Mayhem Devil, alright. That's definitely something we have to counter. Whatever the clock is, that makes it a lot faster. So taking 7 on attacks next turn. Back up to 25. As long as they sacrifice more than one thing to an anvil this turn, they're not dead. Please don't draw gas. Yeah, it's pretty gas. Use their anvil to stay alive, sure. No reason to hold the river. Otawara might hit a creature land. Probably futile trying to use it on anvil. If they find the removal spell for the Nighthawk Scavenger, I guess we can Otawara that back to our hand, but probably tempos us out of the game. It's not claim the firstborn. Witch's Oven, that is a lot more life they can get, unfortunately. That is just enough to keep them alive this turn cycle. That actually means they can gain 6 life a turn. Which means unless we draw something good, we are done for. Second one, alright. Can only activate 1 food this turn though. No, they have treasures, right? I think we are out of it here, unfortunately. How do we race the two ovens? I can just activate those and stay at 1 life here. I think they got us. Picking blue mana, but 3 castable spells on the draw. I think we're fine here. Have a lot of blue lands in the deck. It's not one of them. Opponent on spirits here, probably. Maybe not. Their mills do not tell me anything about what they're playing. Right, there's a blue source, which I think we play here. We have plenty of lands, we don't need to worry about the other hive being tapped. They are playing spirits. They'll try and put an aura onto the Spectral Sailor, that's what these are for. If they attack without putting an aura onto it, do this. Maybe they use a counterspell they don't really want to. Spell Queller. Well, Wave Enfeeblement hits Spell Queller, so we're okay there. Don't really want to be tricky and worry about them countering the Wave Enfeeblement or having Rattle Chains or something like that, so I'm just going to do that here. Solve. Play my Thought Thief. Don't think they have any counter unless I pay 1, except for Lofty Denial. Go ahead and play the other hive here. Only need 1 mana. Would rather hit something higher value than just a Spectral Sailor with this Fatal Push. Right, so this attack turns on my rogues, so we'll go ahead and make it. Don't usually have anything to flash in that blocks great here. Cool. Go to 10. Play Water Grave. Tapped. Guess I should have played an untapped land there. They do have the Spirit counterspell. Counter unless they pay 3. I'll go ahead and try and push this though. Rattle Chains is annoying enough. I'm the flash deck. Alright, I do love Fairy Mastermind. Hive of the Eye Tyrant is not quite threatening lethal. Alright, we're far enough ahead. I'll take it. Yeah, it's a good hand. I'll play. Start with Darkslick Shores. first. Mausoleum Wanderer. I think I'm happy to trade Enforcer for that. Don't really want to trade Fatal Push for it unless they try and put an aura onto it. May also ambush it with the Thought Thief. With my Coco, that's something to watch out for. Thought Thief resolves, that's cool. And Empyrean Eagle, not one you always see in these spirit decks. Okay, Rattle Chain stops it from dying, but does not kill my Thought Thief. So Fairy Mastermind here turns on my rogues, which is pretty cool. I guess I'm fine trading the Thieves Guild for Rattle Chains as well. So I'll main phase that. Take 6, sure. Feeling pretty good with 2 Fatal Pushes in hand here. I'm very happy to race. I have the Spell Queller, which can trade, or just bump against my Thought Thief, which I think is fine. Still takes 7 there. Do I want to Shock In to possibly activate the Mastermind? I don't think so. I'm probably casting some combination of Fatal Pushes here. Opponent goes to 4. We'll attempt to Fatal Push Rattle Chains here. Probably on Collected Company. Guess we see what they hit here. Another Rattle Chains, which is unfortunate. I think we have to kill the Supreme Phantom here. Which they can stop with their Mausoleum Wanderer if they want. Not great for us here. Maybe better off using my Fatal Pushes on my turn. Hindsight's 20/20, right? I think I'm perfectly happy to make them trade one of these things for my Thieves Guild Enforcer. See if Fairy Mastermind can do some work here. Bold attack, but we'll take 3. Representing the second Collected Company. Should be very unfortunate for us. Okay, Fatal Push is less unfortunate for us. I think we just try and play the Scavenger, though. Right, even if we Fatal Push and they somehow have nothing, we don't have lethal. Lofty, that's fine. Spectral Sailor is also fine. I think now we try and kill the Supreme Phantom. Makes their attacks a lot worse. Pass, we draw a Drown, which is pretty good. I think we're chilling here. We are at parity between the Spectral Sailors and the Fairy Mastermind, which is a little awkward. Still don't have good attacks. Skyclave, can't really have that. Another Scavenger is not bad. It's a lot of lands though. Play this through Lofty this time. Probably advantaged as the Collected Company deck here. The Rattle Chains is fine. Ionic Scavenger at least trades 2 for 1, unless they draw something good here. A little unfortunate we haven't drawn any of our utility lands too. That is definitely something good. Okay, Brazen Borrower is decent. Although they can just flash everything back in with the Rattle Chains. I guess if they try and double block, we can bounce the second thing they block with. It's not terrible. Oh no, they just trade, right? Stupid. At least tax their mana here. Which stops them from drawing a card with Spectral Sailor, which is not terrible. Not sure why they'd flash in the Spectral Sailor there. Sure, we gained a bunch of life. Turn, we can play the Brazen Borrower and draw off the Mastermind here. Could be worse. This attack probably means they have another Lord. No blocks. They don't have many blockers available here. Let's do this first. Odds of our drawing something better to do, probably better than them drawing something to counter the Brazen Borrower. Lofty, sure. Their Thought Thief is not bad. think we make these attacks. It's a little awkward if they kill our mastermind. Which I guess they kind of have to, huh? So try and do this first. Mausoleum Wanderer, fine. Sure. Resolves. So I can trade one of those, but now they don't have good attacks into my Thought Thief. Which I think we're fine with. Oh, they jumped the other one. That's very good for us, I think. Kill the Spell Queller. Don't want to draw a card here. I think so. Five is a good draw. Battle Chains is a less good draw. Pretty close one here. Guess they were bluffing me with the second Lord earlier. I think the attack with the Hive here is pretty good, so we'll make it. All three of these should trade at least 2 for 1. Don't think it matters what we exile. Spell Queller, sure. See how they block. Probably use Odawara creatively here. Do have to block at least one of the Thought Thieves. Just going to chump both of them. No, trade with one. Take some deciding. Yes, kill Rattle Chains over Spell Queller. Yes. Yes, do I want to keep my other Thought Thief? I think so. Want to kill the Rattle Chains or the Spectral Sailor? Guess the Rattle Chains. They've got plenty of Spectral Sailors. Perfectly happy to trade a land for Rattle Chains there. And I guess they could draw plenty of counterspells, so I'll play this on my turn. We draw a land. Can draw off their Spectral Sailors here. Drew something. Don't have too much choice but to attack into it. They're also at 4 cards left in library. Spell Queller, sure. That's fine. Scavenger. Don't think they have anything they can draw to here. And 4 cards that both stops my Scavenger and kills me in time. Land certainly doesn't do it. Can redraw off the Spectral Sailor, see if they want to. They do not. What a victory. Truly the superior flash deck here. Call that good for today. Went 4-1, pretty respectable showing. I took this deck up to Mythic last season, reasonably confident and well practiced with it. This is a solid choice for Explorer at the moment. Halo Forager, the 1 or 2 times she came up was quite nice. Just getting back that Fatal Push, very good thing to top deck when you're out of cards, which this deck seems to do fairly often. We do kind of want to be playing that low resource game with this deck. Take away their key stuff with the Thoughtseize and the removal spells. Hopefully they can't deal with all our threats very effectively and just go over the top of them while they struggle to get us back. That is the rogue's way. Kaido, very good when we saw it. Of course, Drown in the Lock, I feel like I never draw this card when I'm playing rogues nearly as much as when my opponent is playing rogues, but very good when it shows up. Looked like the Spirits matchup there was pretty solid regardless of which kind they were playing. A lot of their little 1/1s don't really do that much against you. Thought Thief does a lot for winning combat in the air, which is pretty cool. Nighthawk Scavenger also does similarly. Just a little bit bigger than they are, and of course we have plenty of real hard spot removal, which they do not as much. They can play Skyclave Apparition, but otherwise they have to counter you. But if most of our stuff is at flash speed as well, they can sort of struggle. Lands were just fine. I could see going a bit less than 24, maybe to 22 or 23. The curve is, of course, very low. The deck does work reasonably okay on just 3 lands. I would say that this deck is not perfect. It does have some pretty rough matchups, with the new Convoke deck being one of them. They just play so many more 1/1s than you can hope to deal with. They play their Convoke cards before Drown in the Lock is online to counter them, and those 1/1s all get very large. The spot removal is very ineffective against all of the little dorks they throw around. If you want to beat that deck, maybe try Meathook Massacre, but I don't really think that's appropriate in a best-of-1 setting. Might fare a little better in best-of-3. The Fairy Mastermind was very good, instrumental in that second game against Rogues. Could have saved us against the Rakdos deck, possibly, if I had played a bit better, but oh well. This card is cool, to say the least. Didn't run into some of the more popular decks in the format, but that's okay. Explorer is reasonably diverse at the moment, which is part of why I'm happy to play it and make some content on it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.